Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you needed access to your paycheck a little earlier than payday? Maybe an unexpected bill popped up, or an emergency expense caught you off guard. We've all been there, right? That feeling of being just a few days away from payday, but needing those funds now. It's incredibly stressful. This feeling of financial constraint is something many people experience, and it's what makes early wage access apps so appealing. These apps offer a potential solution by providing access to a portion of your earned wages before your official payday. But how much can you actually access early on these platforms, especially when you're just starting out? That's the question we're diving into today, specifically focusing on the B9 app. Now, before we jump into the specifics of B9, it's important to understand the general concept of early wage access. These apps work by connecting to your bank account and tracking your work hours or earnings. Based on this information, they estimate how much you've earned and allow you to access a portion of it before your regular payday. It's not a loan. It's access to money you've already earned. Think of it as getting a small advance on your own paycheck. The appeal is obvious. It provides a buffer against unexpected expenses and helps avoid things like overdraft fees or late payment penalties. It can offer a sense of financial control and reduce the stress associated with waiting for payday. However, it's crucial to understand the limitations and potential costs associated with these services. Each app has its own set of rules, fees, and access limits, especially for new users. This is where things can get a little tricky. So, let's bring our focus to B9. B9 is one of the players in this early wage access space, offering various financial services, including early access to your pay. But what can you expect to access when you first sign up? Unfortunately, there's no single, universally applicable answer. The amount you can access early on B9 depends on several factors. These include your pay frequency. Are you paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly? This plays a role in how B9 calculates your available earnings. Your average earnings. The more you earn, the more you're likely to be able to access within their limits. Your employment history. A stable employment history can sometimes positively influence your access limit. B9's internal algorithms and risk assessment. Like other financial services, B9 uses algorithms to assess risk, which affects how much they're willing to advance. When you first join B9, you'll typically start with a lower access limit. This is standard practice for most early wage access apps. They need to establish a history with you to accurately assess your income and repayment reliability. Think of it like building credit. You start small and gradually increase your limit over time with responsible use. Now, while B9 doesn't publicly disclose the exact starting limits for new users, it's common for these limits to be a relatively small percentage of your estimated earnings, perhaps ranging from a few tens of dollars to a couple of $100s. This is designed to mitigate risk for both the user and the platform. As you consistently receive direct deposits into your linked bank account and demonstrate responsible usage by repaying advances on time, B9 will likely increase your access limit. This is a key point. Consistent and responsible use is crucial for unlocking greater access. It's also important to understand how B9 calculates your available balance for early access. They generally consider the portion of your net pay that has already been earned within your current pay cycle. They don't provide access to your entire paycheck in advance, just the portion that has accrued up to that point. Another important aspect to consider is the fees associated with using B9. While some early wage access apps offer free access to a portion of your earnings, others, including B9, may charge fees for instant transfers or expedited access. These fees can vary, so it's essential to carefully review B9's fee schedule before using the service. Understanding these costs is crucial for making informed financial decisions. Let's illustrate with an example. Imagine you're paid bi-weekly and earn $2,000 per pay period. When you first join B9, your initial access limit might be, say, $100 or $200. This means you could access that amount before your payday. As you continue to use the app and receive consistent direct deposits, your limit might gradually increase to $300, $400, or even more, depending on B9's assessment of your financial activity. It's also crucial to remember that early wage access isn't a long-term solution to financial difficulties. It's designed to be a short-term tool for managing cash flow and unexpected expenses. Relying on it consistently can create a cycle of dependency and may mask underlying financial problems. If you find yourself consistently needing to access your pay early, it's worth taking a closer look at your budget and exploring other financial management strategies. So, to summarize, how much can you access early on B9 when you're just starting out? The answer is it varies. It depends on several factors, including your pay frequency, average earnings, employment history, and B9's internal assessments. You'll typically start with a lower limit that will gradually increase with consistent and responsible use. Always remember to carefully review B9's fee schedule and understand the terms and conditions before using the service. Early wage access apps like B9 can be helpful tools for managing short-term financial needs. However, it's essential to use them responsibly and understand their limitations. They're not a substitute for sound financial planning and budgeting. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.